The Imperial Palace consists of 3 areas: the East Gardens, where the Tokugawa Shoguns Edo castle once stood, the Palace, where the Japanese emperor lives, and the Outer Gardens, with beautiful pine trees and the Nijubashi Bridge. Today, we will tour the East Gardens and Outer Gardens and go on a virtual tour of the Emperor's Palace. To physically enter the palace area, you will need to enroll in their official tour, which starts at 9:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. daily and takes about 3 hours. Let us start with the story of the emperor, the shogun, and Edo. Since 7th century BC, 126 emperors have ruled over Japan, all from the same imperial family and through an unbroken hereditary line. Japanese believe their emperor is a direct descendant of the Shinto sun goddess Amaterasu. So throughout the centuries, they have respected their emperor as divine and the ultimate authority in Japan. In reality, he was rarely the real ruler, and his role was largely symbolic. Influential clans in the emperor's court in Kyoto wielded real power initially. Later it shifted to regional feudal lords called daimyo. By the 12th century, it became customary for the emperor to appoint the most powerful daimyo as the shogun, or military commander. All other daimyos pledged allegiance to the shogun, and he was the de facto ruler of the land. In the late 16th century, a powerful daimyo in the east called Tokugawa Ieyasu emerged as the shogun after defeating his rivals in a famous battle at Sekigahara. Ieyasu chose Edo, current-day Tokyo, to build his new capital. Edo means door to the bay, and at the time, it was a coastal fishing village with a small castle built by the local warlord, Otadokan. Ieyasu dramatically expanded the castle and its surrounding town. He built an intricate spiral moat around Edo, crisscrossed with gates, bridges, stone walls, and guardhouses for protection. The inner moat was 5 kilometers long, and the outer moat exceeded 15 kilometers. He placed his own palace in the central area called Honmaru, or main circle. Daimyos lived in villas around his palace, and commoners lived in the outskirts. The Tokugawa shoguns ruled Japan between 1603 and 1867. Japan flourished with peace and harmony. Edo developed into a city much larger than Rome and London at the time in Europe, and this period came to be known as the Edo period. In 1868, the Tokugawa shogunate fell and power was restored to Emperor Meiji. For centuries, the Japanese emperor had been based in Kyoto. Kyo meaning capital, and Kyoto translates to capital city. Emperor Meiji moved the capital to Edo and renamed the city Tokyo, or capital in the east. Edo Castle was renamed Kokyo, or imperial residence, and a new palace was built for the emperor in the castle complex. During World War II, the Imperial Palace was destroyed in air raids. The Allies even evaluated it as a target for the atom bomb, but later discarded the idea. After the war, Allied forces governed Japan from their headquarters, placed strategically right across the Imperial Palace. After the occupying forces left in the 1960s, the imperial residence was rebuilt, but not Edo Castle. A few gates and watchtowers were restored, East Gardens laid over the ruins, and it was opened to the public in 1968. The impressive stone walls and the moat we see today around the palace were part of the original Edo Castle. As we start our tour, take a moment to study the Tabi map to understand the layout of the East Gardens and our route through its must-see locations. We will begin our tour at the main gate called Otemon. Tap number 2 or next when you are at this location. In Japan, there is a tradition of collecting special stamps called shuin at temples and shrines. Tap on the camera icon on the top right, and you can stamp your pictures on this tour with Kokyo or Imperial Palace written in beautiful calligraphy.